Well, finally, we have you back.
Hey man, I apologize to the 50 viewers. but it's perfect timing, man. We are like the second round is started, so I think it's a perfect time for us to sort of recap what happened, Nikhil, over the last 1 week, and also I guess give our predictions for round two. I don't know how accurate we were in round one. वो थोड़ा
So
देखना पड़े.
I was damn close. मैंने बोला था कि Kings will the last game which they'll win will be game 2, but they somehow win game 6. But then of course Warriors took care of business in game 7. And let's start with that. Oh my god. If you've seen the thumbnail of the video, of course. I've told this to Gopal in the past. Gopal, he's my goat.
He's
What
yeah.
what a performance! What a performance! Today I cannot. He scored 50, and Warriors needed every single point. I woke up at at 1 a.m. 1:30 a.m. I was not like I had fallen asleep by 11, and I was not able to sleep. I was literally getting dreams of Warriors losing against Kings. I'm like, no, I have to watch it.
Struggles a bit with
I
it
have to
and
watch it.
still finishes.
If I
Lost
don't
his
watch it,
dribble
they'll end up losing.
momentarily
That kind
and
of
flipped
weird
it in off
dream.
the glass.
And I'm like, नहीं, देखना पड़ेगा. And I woke up at 2:33, and that was basically around the time.
Curry,
of the
long
quarter,
distance.
which
That's
is the
good.
best part of the game.
Steph Curry with his
Yeah,
second
Nikhil.
three.
By the way, I don't know if it's intentional, but
And this is
I can hear the game,
Riled
right?
center
I
group.
can't really hear you much, but I think that shows the excitement, I guess, of the arena, like
Right.
the noise and the sound. But yeah, man, dude, this was this level of control over your craft, uh, man, it's just unbelievable, dude. Like genuinely, I have no words, man. Like to be able to do it when it matters the most. Uh, and this is what they say. Shooting is supposed to be like a subjective thing, na? That it's not something that it's not like rebounding that you can maintain a level of consistency.
Right.
But for him to do this, he is definitely. I mean, there's no doubt that he's the greatest shooter of all time.
Nah,
Uh,
man.
I- Greatest player of all time is it's just becoming harder to discount him, man. Like
Dude, you tell me in today's era, okay, in today's basketball, with a 3 point game, with his kind of three and penetration, like threes and layups, right? That efficiency in shot creation, efficiency in scoring, tempo, pace, off the ball. And people don't talk about this. He played great defense as well. He got so many strips, he got so many deflections. If you ask me, the Kings had pretty much the perfect plan to play him, right?
what
When
really what
Yeah,
plan?
yeah. So their plan was, double him every time he comes off the pick and roll, have aggressive, athletic players on him all day long, right? And it didn't matter. He had a massive series. Just reminded me of the playoffs last year of why Warriors cruised like buzzsaw through the West. I expect that to happen again, but this is why, at least for me, I've not seen Jordan play. I was too young, and this is why he's my goat.
He's your goat. Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. It's hard to. If you ask me who's the best player in the NBA right now at this moment, then yeah, it's Steph. Like at this moment, like but for me to say that he is the goat, okay, like goat in the pure sense of greatest of all time, it's just I can't do it yet, man. Like I'm just. But I still think it's not that doesn't mean we are dissing him. Like I just think for me it's unfair to compare positions. I know like the game has become positionless and stuff, but and it's also
Right,
unfair to compare eras,
right.
right? So that's my only. But he's there, man. Like this is unbelievable. Like I was just like it didn't matter what the defenses were doing, and it was good defense, man. Like this shot. Like what is this, bro? Like okay, it's one thing to do it in an all-star game and all when there's no defense, but this is like literally like this is perfect defense what Keegan Murray played. Like he had like half this angle. Look at this. Like I don't know how he got this. It's man. What can you say, dude? So, but
Dude,
my point, yeah. But
yeah.
my point
So
is the
why?
Kings. Yeah, Kings
Yeah,
also like credit to them, man. They took it to seven, bro. Like I think
yeah.
they have
I
silenced a lot of us, including me.
sure,
Uh,
absolutely.
so yeah, great series.
So this was a great series, and I will tell you this. This is my hot take, my prediction. This was the toughest series which the Warriors are gonna have this year on the way to a championship.
Ooh, they have Lakers next. So you're saying that they'll get Lakers in six,
Lakers in five.
Lakers in five.
They beat Lakers in five. So Warriors win that series in six, in five, in my opinion, because
Hmm.
of one simple thing, and we saw it in display in this series, which is the pace of the game. The Warriors and Kings play at a ridiculous pace. They were the league leaders in pace in the regular season, in the postseason. Even if you have great D, Lakers just don't have enough tempo players to keep up with that pace. Nor does the Nuggets, nor does the Suns, nor does the Celtics or the Heat on the other side.
Hmm.
Like the Kings, and we played an offensive in a high offense, high octane, throttle all the time sort of offensive game today. It's not really led by post defense and scoring inside. No, like Lakers can get all the buckets they want in the paint. Warriors are just gonna kill them in three. Lakers will not be able to keep up with Warriors up and down the court. And even if they do, I predict Anthony Davis ends up getting injured in first or second game with that pace and that tempo. It
Yeah,
just
you know
it
you.
can't be matched.
I know. I mean I agree with you on the pace and tempo, but since you mentioned Anthony Davis, I that is still going to be a huge difference, right? When you compare him, Anthony Davis to Sabonis, right? That's not even a comparison. I'm just saying
So
it
I'll tell you
yeah.
this, right? Many people are like, "Oh, Sabonis could, like Anthony Davis is obviously better than Sabonis." Of course, he's better than Sabonis. I'm not denying that. My point is this: everyone around the Kings used to play such an up-tempo, high-pace, high-octane offense. Who is going to do that for the Lakers to match up with the Warriors?
So I'm looking at the roster, right? We have Dennis Schroeder, then we have Vanderbilt. I mean,
Right?
these.
He's a good player. He's a good defender.
Then I don't know if we should include D'Angelo Russell. I don't even count for him in terms of defense, right? I have Austin Reeves. No, he's a small forward. I don't know, so he's too big for that. But I do think there's one thing that we're not, man. We're betting against LeBron James. Okay, now this is historically proven to be a bad idea. Okay, so now we have two of the we talk about goats, right? So
Hmm.
two of the guys who are definitely in that debate going up against each other, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
analytics and all goes out the window, and I still feel in a way वो वॉरियर्स का थोड़ा वो ट्रॉमा है जो हुआ था उस सीरीज में or 2016 or whenever it was that thing is there, right? When you
Yeah,
know
so
you're
which is
facing
why,
someone, huh?
if you look at the King series, I feel had the Warriors taken it seriously from the get.
Hey, this is not fair on the Kings. Hey, come on. This is just this is
Dude,
so
I don't think
this
they
is
take
below the belt, dude.
at least two games of the series. Warriors were not serious. At least two games. Game six and game two. Okay. So my point is this: in this matchup, it's personal for Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Steph Curry. From the get, they are gonna embarrass but the Lakers. And I'm not joking. Like gentleman's sweep is my prediction. It's like Warriors will win three straight. Lakers will win one game to save face, and then Warriors close it out in game five. And for the simple fact that I think Warriors have Anthony Davis's number, they beat him in the Pelicans. Draymond does an amazing job on Anthony Davis on the offensive end. On the defensive end, I think Warriors have enough shooting to pull LeBron and Anthony Davis away from the paint,
Hmm.
which will make their post play, post defense, uh, which will open up their driving game. And Lakers, dude, all that set aside, they just don't have the pace. Lakers don't have the pace. There's no way they keep it up. There is absolutely no way they keep up with the Warriors' offense.
Yeah, I'm finding it hard to argue with that. That's what I'm saying. The only chance. Lakers have is to find a way to slow this game down. But the question is, how do they do that, right? Because there is relatively, especially Kevon Looney, the way he's been playing, right? It's not like they can get multiple second chance points and slow them down in that way. The Warriors are going to get out in transition.
Yes.
Uh, so yeah, man, it's going to be a
And look, people bring up Anthony Davis, who's going to defend him and all. You go watch the Warriors Pelican series of the past. Draymond has always had his number. When Anthony Davis was having like an MVP caliber season, Draymond did an amazing job on him and nullified his impact on the offensive side of the court.
But again, we can always make the argument that he didn't have help when he was with the Pelicans, right? You were able to sort of zone in on him. My point is, can you still do that?
So my point is this, right? Okay, so let's break down the Lakers lineup. So let's just go through their lineup right now. Now, one of the main issues which they will have, which they will face, is that they don't have sufficient offensive power. Okay, so what do I mean by that? So let me just share my screen for the audience also to join. Why I think it's a gentleman's sweep. Uh, so here's my thing, right? This is their lineup. Let me zoom in a little bit. So if you look at LeBron, so LeBron, sure, LeBron's LeBron. Not arguing, he's going to have great impact. Jared Vanderbilt is a no on the offensive side. He's an amazing defender, but on the offensive side, he just can't impact it well enough. Anthony Davis, sure, he's going to do his thing. Austin Reeves is a decent offensive player, but cannot shoot consistently well. D'Angelo Russell cannot is not consistent. Dennis Schroeder is not consistent. Rui Hachimura is the one player whom I think can have a decent enough impact. I think the Lakers are just going to be this deep, LeBron to Rui, and it's going to be an eight man game. Now, in this eight-man game, my point is that anytime on the court when there's Draymond Green and Anthony Davis, and say Anthony Davis is getting guarded by Kevon Looney, Draymond Green will leave either Jared Vanderbilt or Austin Reeves or Dennis Schroeder or D'Angelo Russell open and double up on Anthony Davis. And Anthony Davis is just not good with double teams. Like today, you saw one of the things which people don't talk about is Steph was doubled at least 20 times and he easily broke off the double
Dude,
team and made the right
uh,
play.
that by the way, like it was unbelievable. The way because his shooting is so good, we just overlook like the way like he was able to, not lose the ball.
Yes.
It was very hard double teams, man. Like it was
Yeah.
unbelievable what he was doing.
So,
Yeah.
so imagine this happens to Anthony Davis with Draymond Green and Kevon Looney. One on one, maybe Anthony Davis takes them out, but no ways he's gonna beat them in a double team. And Draymond is gonna do the same thing with LeBron. Like whoever, so either Rui Hachimura or Dennis Schroeder, D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves is free. They will let him be free. They don't care. They'll just zero in on LeBron James or Anthony Davis. Make sure that you have to understand this, and this is why I think it's a gentleman's sweep. Either Anthony Davis or LeBron James. Warriors have to stop any one of these guys every game. Just one of them. And I think Warriors have a good enough defense to do that. They don't have to stop. And if you look at it from a consistency perspective, both LeBron James, if Lakers have to win a single game, even one game, both Anthony Davis and LeBron James have to go off. And that's the problem because they don't have a motion offense. Warriors, on the other hand, because the ball flies around so much, it's not dependent on one or two players. Like, of course, occasionally you have a game where it's like Steph Curry did today, which he just takes over. He's like, screw it, give him the ball and get out of the way. But overall, their offense, the ball moves around so much. There's so many cuts. There's, people keep getting open shots. It's like every other player has 8, 10, 12, 20, 15, 20 points. And then I've not even spoken about Andrew Wiggins, who I think is the biggest swing factor in the series.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Andrew Wiggins is gonna feast in this series because LeBron is not fast enough to keep up with him. And whom are you? So the only good wing defender which the Lakers have is who? Is
Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt. No one else. No one else is a good wing defender on the Lakers side. So like Wiggins is gonna have like a 25, 26 point average this series. He's going to feast. And even he is long enough to cause problems for Anthony Davis. Like, people underestimate how long this guy is, how tall, and the best part is, if Anthony Davis was a aggressive player, he would have abused Wiggins in the post up. Anthony Davis hates posting up. He plays like a perimeter player. I don't look. I'm trying to figure out. What is the way which Lakers see? I'm always looking at matchups. I'm always trying to figure out. Okay, why did I say that? Warriors figured out the Kings. It was because matchup wise they had Sabonis down. They knew that they could neutralize Monk. Fox is the only player who was going to get going, and they were okay with that. Of course, game six, they didn't show up, but the three straight games which they won, you could see it clearly that they'd figured them out. From the Lakers side, I'm trying to figure out what is that attack you will do on the Warriors to one, stop their offense, and on the defensive side, how will you reduce your dependency on LeBron and
Okay,
AD,
so that's what. No, I get your point. They're fair questions. So let's start on the defensive end, right?
right?
So I agree with. See, all your points are valid. Okay, but okay, so I'm not disputing anything, but I'm just saying in terms of defense, probably they will have to do a box and one, which I think is the only option, and then do some sort of late double team on Steph, right?
Okay.
That's what I think defensively they have to do, and then pray. Okay. तो वो हो गया डिफेंस का ओके नाउ माय थिंग इज ऑन द ऑफेंसिव एंड आई स्टिल फील लाइक and then make slow them down, right? So my point is, okay, the Warriors are still going to get that shot, but let it be late in the shot clock. Okay, so it should not be like a 4 second, 8 second thing. So Lakers have to just push it to the safe 17th, 18th, or 22nd second, right? So maybe Vanderbilt does his full court press, pressuring the ball up, right? That is their only hope to slow down and reduce the number of possessions. Okay, perhaps that will that will help them, right? If the Warriors don't get so many shots off, that's one thing. And then on the other end, uh, I that's where it gets tricky because now we have these X factors, right? And they have so many X factors. It's like whole X's. There are no Y's. So it's like Hachimura, D'Angelo Russell, Dennis Schroeder. These are all guys who have on and off nights, right? So my point is, two out of these three guys need to have at least 20 per game, which is I don't think that they have managed that, or it's fair to expect them to do that. I think and
Exactly.
corner threes, right?
Yep.
We need the Lakers now to find a way to knock down these corner threes. Like you said, they're going to double Anthony Davis, or basically they're going to say anyone other than LeBron and Davis have to beat us.
Exactly.
So yeah, man, I hope they're working on their corner threes in the next 48 hours. But yeah, so it comes down to that. Yeah, man, this is. But yeah, it's going to be a great series. I still think that let's see how the first game goes, because I think a lot of things come out in the open in terms of
Sure.
how they're going to play each other.
Who do you think wins? What's your prediction? For me,
I
it's Warriors and five, gentleman sweep.
I think it goes to 6. Uh,
Lakers or
Wa-
Warriors?
Warriors in 6.
Wow. Let's see what happens. Both of us are predicting the Lakers loss.
But for me, it's always like betting against LeBron. But then the thing is, if you don't bet against LeBron, that means you're betting against Curry. So it's like it's a tough one, man. But I still think you could. That's the thing, right? Like say Hachimura, or I don't think Austin Reeves can play better than he's playing. In terms of, I think he's doing whatever can be expected of him. So I think Hachimura is the only guy who's perhaps still has
A
levels
level.
of, yeah, right. So but the question is, can he level up now? Like maybe it's too
Yeah.
soon for him, because he's like happy by मैंने shot मार दिया in the previous round, right? So it doesn't look like even he's expecting from himself to find that other gear,
Right.
right? But yeah, I still think AD, if he needs to have an unbelievable series. Like you said, if he's able to make decisions, out of double teams, uh, then I still think the Lakers have it in them. But Davis can't have nights where he's switching off like he did in the previous series. He can't go like one game where 10 points and whatever 10 what some shit game he had, and then they still won anyway because of LeBron's greatness. So, but yeah, Lakers will have to play perfect, and the Warriors will have to play above average. So, so, whew.
Yeah, that's the thing. Many people are like, "Oh, this is a great matchup for Lakers and all." I don't think so. Like,
Who's
I
saying
don't.
that?
Oh, look. So a lot of the sports analysts, a lot of the predictions, they're like, "Oh, like Lakers are gonna win this. Anthony Davis is gonna have a great series and all." And I'm like, "What are you watching?" Like, it makes no sense to me. Like, I'm trying to figure out. So if I'm the Lakers, right, the biggest problem. Now, I clearly stated out the few things which you said. Now, the X factors are a big problem. I have another point to make here, which I feel is gonna why I feel it's gonna be a gentleman's sweep, and it's one bad man. His name is Clay Thompson. So why do I bring this guy up? Against the Kings, he had two problems. The first problem was he had to defend against two of the most athletic scorers in the game, De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk. They
Hmm.
were going up and down fast. He had to keep up their pace, and because of which he obviously didn't have his legs, and he had a very bad series. And the thing is with Clay Thompson, in this series, he doesn't have that crazy athletic guy whom he has to defend every possession. He doesn't
Ooh.
have who like
Yeah.
D'Angelo Russell. TK like D'Angelo Russell is not such a great such he's good. He's an all-star, but he's not such a great player in my opinion. Not consistent enough.
Anyway, Steph will be guarding him. So
Yeah, so
it's
most
anyway
likely
more.
that
Yeah. Yeah.
Austin Reeves is matched up against Clay Thompson. I think
Yeah,
that's an
it's
easy
yeah,
matchup
it's an
for
even, yeah,
Clay.
yeah. Because Austin Reeves is not
So
really quick. Yeah, he's not
yeah,
athletic.
and Clay Thompson is gonna have a huge series. I'm talking about, you know,
40.
like I think he's gonna average 30 in this series, at least couple of 40-point games, just because of the fact that he's gonna play this with vengeance, and it's a LeBron-led team. Steph Curry is gonna be doubled all day long. And on the other side, I also expect Jordan Poole to have a massive series again because they don't have to defend crazy, penetration players like point of attack players. They are De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk. People underestimate how well these two players played in the series. Like they had so much attention of the Warriors. And in the coming series, look, D'Angelo Russell is a skill player. He's not an athleticism player. So
Hmm.
in skill wise, I would take Jordan Poole over D'Angelo Russell any day.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
take Clay Thompson over Austin Reeves any day. So that's the problem with the which the Lakers have, which is how are they going to figure out Clay Thompson? Because they will figure out Steph by doubling him, as you said, box and one. But that opens things up for Clay.
Okay.
Let-
Okay. We can't do box and two, right? It's not a triangle and two.
right.
Ooh. But yeah,
So
tough times, man, for the Lakers. Ooh.
so that was one. Apart from that, the other massive blow was Milwaukee Bucks.
Was it a
Uh,
blow though? Like, see, that's the thing, right? They're talking about, oh, I don't think Giannis was 100%. There's no doubt about that, right? So, but yeah, man, Jimmy was wild. So, but I still think I'm not Utra. I don't think it's a upset in that sense because we did have like the best player in that series prior to outside of Jimmy Butler not being there for a couple of games,
okay.
right? So, oh, power cut, man, this is pretty trippy. I hope I look okay to you guys.
Yeah, look good. Go ahead.
So yeah, so I don't think it's an upset. Honestly, I think the Heat played out of their skin, and Jimmy Butler came to hoop. So well, what can you say?
So few more points to add here. Uh, when you think about it, uh, Miami Heat also have a very up tempo style of play,
Hmm.
and the Bucks, on the other hand, have a yeah. So if why I say it's a gentleman sweep between the Warriors and the Lakers is Lakers and Bucks have a very similar roster construction if you look at it. Okay. So what do you mean by that? You have Giannis, and for me, you can somehow equate him to a LeBron. You have Anthony Davis, who, of course, is a much better version of a Brook Lopez. But Giannis plus Brook Lopez is, you could say in today's day and age, equal to LeBron plus AD, right? Roughly, the impact on the court is the same. Now they have Chris Middleton, you have Austin Reeves, they have Drew Holiday, you have a Dennis Schroeder type player. Now, why do I bring this up? The one thing which the Lakers don't have and needed at the Bucks is a clear cut wing defender, which is why Clay Thompson and Andrew Wiggins are going to have a massive series. Both amazing wings. And you saw this play out where Miami Heat also has a very heavy motion style play, and then the game is on the line, just give it to Jimmy. So, this is what I'm talking about. I mean, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, man. I genuinely feel like I've always loved the Heat, and shout out to Kevin Love also, who we are seeing right now. I think Kevin Love
Yeah,
has
they had a
discovered.
great series.
Yeah, man, and so that's the thing that I felt they were missing in the past. Also, a lot of their outside shooting, right? They were
Yeah.
not. I think they were one of the worst outside shooting teams in the
Yeah, yeah,
regular
yeah.
season. I
Yep.
think they were able to really correct that.
Yep.
Right, Kyle Lowry and even the starting point guard. What's his name? I forgot. The guy with the dreadlocks.
Even I forgot.
Even I,
Gabe Vincent.
Gabe Vincent, right? They were shooting lights out, right? So I think
Yeah.
they also gave Jimmy Butler a lot of space,
Exactly. This is
right?
what
Which
I'm talking about.
yeah. So yeah, man. And they're missing. By the way, they're missing Tyler Hero.
Which
So
is actually a which is crazy if you think about it. But what has also happened is Duncan Robinson, who people forgot about, he also had a pretty good series against the Bucks because Tyler Hero is not there.
Yeah, I
He has
think
to
I
play
think he's also an incredible
shooter.
catch and shoot guy. Like the
Yeah.
shots that he makes,
Yep.
but yeah, his defense is a liability, which is I guess why he's not
Yep. Yep.
part of the rotation. But honestly, I again, it's always great to see teams playing the way we all expect them to play.
Yep.
And by the way, shout out to Giannis, man. Like that post game interview, the one, dude. I think it's
It's one of the most eloquent answers for such a
dude, I
difficult
it
question.
was powerful, man. Like stuff like that is what trends on LinkedIn, right? Because it becomes like a work advice in
Right.
terms of. So yeah, I don't think the Bucks played badly. I think the Heat uh, played the way that we have been expecting them to play for many seasons now. They seem to have finally done it, right? So and Bam Adebayo, man, like I feel like he again is like a bit of an X factor because there are games where he switches off, right? So that again is a big thing, like the shots that he's making now, right? Like the one that we just saw, right? I think that also all these things create a lot of space for Jimmy Butler to operate. And then we see how Jimmy Butler can finish through some crazy angles, man. Like it's just
Yeah, yeah. So,
it's
how
insane.
many of you guys have seen Kurokuno Basket?
I have not.
Oh,
I have not.
oh my god. So, dude, Kurokono Basket is another crazy basketball anime. Now, unlike Slam Dunk, Kurokono Basket, they just take the basketball player and give them superpowers. In that, there's a fierce player who plays like Kobe. His name is Aomine. Okay.
Huh.
So why do I bring this guy up? So I'll just find some Aomine highlights and share it with you guys. But basically, Aomine is like he plays like Kobe. He hits ridiculous shots, and uh, so I'll. Oh, I don't think I can share my screen for this. I'm so sorry, guys. But you have to check Aomine out. Now, why Aomine specifically is I'll share this. Gopal, we're taking a risk.
Okay.
So here's the thing, right? Aomine has something called as formless shots, meaning he falls away from the hoop, he chucks the ball to the basket, he's diving out of bounds, and look at this. Are you seeing this shot,
Bro,
Gopal?
this is like a Rajnikant movie, bro.
He hit that shot.
Crazy. Okay, so what's your point? So
So
coming
my
back.
point is Jimmy Butler when he hit the final buzzer beater, right?
Oh, dude, let's take a moment. Let's play that, dude. There are
Yeah,
still
yeah, sure.
people who'll be like, I have not whatever seen it, dude. That was unbelievable, bro. I totally like. I'm glad you brought this up.
So
That
the
was
final
insane.
shot which Jimmy hit, oh my god! Like it blew my mind. I,
Dude, the pass also. By shout out to that pass. That pass was like on point.
I swear, perfectly executed pass. So it's the fourth quarter of the last game. Now, honestly, many people thought that Bucks are going to win this game because they had the lead in the fourth, and Giannis was back, and he had got a couple of games under him, so he was all warmed up. And many people thought that Bucks will come back and win. And this is where you need an assassin. This is where you need a Kobe. This is where you need a Steph. Right? You need an assassin who'll just take care of business. And this is what Jimmy did. One is he, of course, brought them back down 16 to tie the game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right? Hit shot after shot. They went to him basically every possession. Like how Steph yesterday you saw. Look at him
The
on deep.
Jordan. This was Jordan-esque. Remember the famous
I
Jordan?
swear.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
swear. This was one of his best shots. And so this was it, guys. This is the play. Gabe Vincent. Jimmy Butler, of course, gets a small push off here. And just, oh my God.
Dude, who was it? Giannis sort of
No,
guarding
no,
the
no.
in. No, Giannis guarding the inbound pass. Nah, he
Yeah,
was.
Giannis was guarding the inbound pass. So Gabe Vincent wins
Yeah.
that pressure. How he got that pass off, I don't know. But what a pass and what a play, what a shot! Oh my
The
God!
play was
Like,
not even called for him. No, it was called for someone else. He like,
yeah,
nee,
it was not
I'm the
called for.
guy. I'm the guy. I'm going to
Yeah,
do this.
look at this. Oh my God! It's impossible shot.
It
How
just,
the? I think that sucked the air away from the Bucks, dude.
dude, the
Honestly,
stadium was like quiet, bro. Like it was pin drop silence. Like, man. But this is what the playoffs are about, honestly. Like these are the
yeah,
moments that
yeah,
really. This is why we watch the playoffs because
yeah.
the famous Robert Ory quote, now pressure can either crack you or it can make you into a diamond. So Jimmy Butler is like a diamond, bro. Like he just wakes up. I I had put out this meme, okay, where through the regular season he like sort of snoozing, okay, and then when the playoffs come, he's like wakes up. So, man, that's dude.
And
His numbers get better in the playoffs, man. That's insane. Like it makes no sense that your numbers
yeah,
get better when things get harder. Like
yeah.
I
You
wish I
can
was like that
almost say
professionally.
that he paces himself during the regular season, gets his team involved, tries to make sure that they are able to get a lot of shots off, and
I think
yeah, like
Kawhi should learn from him, bro. In terms of just no, in terms
no,
of
even
just being being present, right? Because
look, one important thing you have to understand: even Kawhi's numbers get better in the playoffs. Okay,
but he has to be on the floor. So my basic point is, you would rather. This is the whole argument, right? I think some teams, like even the Kings, for example, I don't
right,
think they were resting guys through the regular season. So
right,
you would rather sort of go second gear, third gear. The ability for you to take rest while you're still playing. I think
right,
that's an art no one talks about,
right.
right? Slacking off in a strategic way.
Pacing yourself,
Yeah, pacing yourself, right? So I think this is a big lesson for other stars,
right,
franchise players to learn from Jimmy Butler in terms of how do you pace yourself while you're still effective in the regular season and doing enough to get your team into a position where their playoff spot is guaranteed. Although in this
right.
case they they lost to the
They had a
Hawks,
fight.
bro.
Yeah,
They
they had a
lost to the
fight.
Hawks. Now, can you believe this team losing to the Hawks?
No, no, Hawks team was good, man. Come on, they managed to push the Celtics to 6 games. What are you saying?
Yeah.
Put some respect on that team. I legit thought game six. I was watching it live. We missed that, Gopal. But towards the end, it was a one possession game, and
Oh, okay. Huh.
yeah, it was a one possession game, and for whatever reason, I mean, Hawks just went cold, and Boston went on a hot streak of 11 straight points. That's why they closed them out. If not, it was a one possession game till I think 2 minutes left to go.
Ooh, I didn't realize it was that close.
It was intense. It was crazy. I genuinely thought Hawks will win it. They were playing good. They were playing damn good.
So the
So
Celtics, all those demons came back to haunt them, was it? Like
also,
this?
okay, we'll talk about the Celtics also next. But
That's going to be a
with
great series, by the way. Celtics Sixers, right?
yeah,
That's ooh.
no. So I'll tell you this, okay, about the Celtics. Uh, so before that, you want to talk about the Heat's next game today?
You will have to talk about it because I just assumed that the Heat is going to win and they won,
Yeah,
right? But
they
it
did.
seemed again like I think the middle quarters were won by the Heat. After
So the
like
first half,
yeah.
New York was actually in control, and on the second half, Nick, like the Heat just took over. I think so. Julius Randle didn't play, so that impacted the Knicks a
Oh
lot.
yeah,
An
yeah. What's up
important
with
player.
that? Like it was some regular season injury, then he was available in the previous round, so I
Yeah,
guess it
yeah,
just flared up again.
probably. Another thing was they went for some reason with RJ Barrett a lot towards the end possessions, which I think is a mistake. They should have gone with Jalen Brunson. He's a proven performer. I don't understand the play calling
Wait, wait.
there.
Okay, so Jalen Brunson was not even, but he was playing, right? They just didn't
So he
call
was
plays for him.
playing,
Okay, huh.
yeah, like he barely got the possession,
Oh,
till it became too late, and that's not right. Like, uh, Jalen Brunson should be the star of this team. Honestly, what is this RJ Barrett nonsense? Like RJ Barrett is good. He's just a role player in my eyes. They went to
yeah.
him like only in the last minute did Jalen Brunson end up getting the ball, but they went to RJ Barrett way too many times. It's also
What
possible.
what was the matchup that RJ Barrett, like, who was guarding him? Was there some reason behind this? Like,
No, there's no reason behind it. It's look, Heat are just a tough team, so all their players play good defense. The point here is, uh, as the next coach, you owe it to going to your best player, and Jalen Brunson is clearly their best player.
hmm,
Uh, if Randall is not available this series, Butler and Heat will clean it very quickly.
sweep,
Not
Jadu.
sweep probably, but you actually you may be right. It may end up being a sweep if Randall is not there. But if Randall is there, it becomes a very interesting series because Randall neutralizes.
Yeah, yeah, they're both very physical teams, if you think
Yeah,
about it. By the way,
this is
shout out
like
to the 90s, 90s, right?
yeah,
Ah,
this
yeah.
is like an 80s 90s game. It was very physical even today, and I felt it was very boring, honestly. Like it was so slow. I
Yeah.
like up tempo, quick, that sort of game.
This was like a test match, as they call it.
Yeah, this
Slow,
was it.
thoda.
Was a test match. But let's move on to the upcoming games. So we have some superb games coming up tomorrow. So Gopal, very quickly, will we be available tomorrow for the show?
You're getting me on air, man. Yeah, yeah, we will be available. Tomorrow we're doing it,
Right.
yes.
So why I asked this question is there's some interesting matchups. So let's start off with the first one, which is your
Ooh.
Celtics Sixers. Now, let's
Ooh.
talk about Celtics Sixers. For the last 4 years, when you look at teams on paper, no team in the NBA is supposed to come close to the Celtics. No team. Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, Marcus Smart, Al Horford, amazing talent on paper. They just fuck around too much. Sorry for the language. But the Hawks series should have been a sweep. They managed to push it to 6 games. It's like they do it to themselves. It's like despite going having gone to the finals, they don't take games seriously. There's lack of effort, there's lack of focus, there's the game, they just forget how to play. At one point they look unstoppable, another point you're like कि कौन सा टीम है यार मैंने देखा ही नहीं है कभी इनको. I do not understand how. If you ask me, Celtics should have had 3 championships by now.
No, no, I think, honestly, I also think, like, when both your stars are sort of the same generation and same age, I do feel like, like, it's like how good habits rub off on each other, bad habits also do, right? So I still think, like, in terms of balance, I've always had an issue with the Celtics. I don't think just having Al Horford says that, oh, you have experience. My point is, do you have championship experience? Do you have, like, Al Horford? I have personally never been a huge fan, I'll be honest, right? So my point is, they still have that, they're not sure, right? I think they need at least one guy on that side who has won a ring. Do they have that? Nikhil, I'm not sure. Do they?
So now they have Malcolm Brogdon, who,
I'm talking about
uh,
championship experience, bro. Like Malcolm Brogdon, what?
oh yeah, okay, he's also not really good. But,
Yeah,
uh,
so I think you'd still need that one guy who can give them that. But I also feel 76ers are also their own dushman. Okay, so that way it's a good series.
so no, so let's before we that's what. So before we talk about the series, I really am. I do not understand how the Celtics managed to do this to themselves. Uh, and why do I bring this up? In the playoffs, if you can keep a series short, it's always beneficial for the deeper rounds you go.
Hmm.
And for whatever reason, Celtics always figure out how to make it harder for themselves. And I was telling this to my brother the other day as well. I was like, on paper, Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, this team looks stacked.
But I
Looks,
think it's time we tore this paper. This paper business has been going on too long.
I swear. I tell you this, right? If this year they don't win it all, they have to break up the team.
I agree with you.
They cannot continue with this. This is stupid. It's ridiculous. I So anyway, let's talk about the matchup now. So one big issue is Sixers don't have the MVP available. Joel Embiid is not playing for the first game, probably not the second game. He has an LCL strain, which, if you don't know, is very, very painful.
Bro, when did this happen? Like, has I? Why are we even discussing this series? Okay, na, bas khatam. What? But when? What? What is this, bro? Like, you'll have to take us through this. When did he? When did this happen in the first
So,
round or what?
yeah, it happened in the first round. I'll just show you guys the injury. Now,
Is it going to be graphic? Do we need to give like disclaimers, like
no,
those
no,
who
it
are
wasn't.
sensitive? Ye wo.
Yeah,
Oh.
probably. Okay, go ahead. But this was the injury. He had an awkward landing and he ended up getting an LCL strain on his right leg. Now, here's the thing, right? Joel Embiid, yeah. So, as you can see, uh, we'll just show a replay again. Here, he just, I don't know, had an awkward landing, I guess.
Yeah, it doesn't
And
look that crazy, but yeah, obviously.
so, here's the thing, right? I feel if it's just a simple LCL sprain, the point here is this: with an LCL sprain, he'll take at least a week to recover, and a week is 2 to 3 games.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I don't know. It's
James Harden has to turn back the clock. Tyrese
even if
Maxey has to drop 40.
even if they do, right. I see that's the thing. Their opportunity is Celtics have a tendency to take nights off, and if they can get Joel Embiid back and they have the series, say they are leading 2 games to one, or they at least have managed to sneak in one win, I think then it becomes an interesting series because Celtics don't have an answer for Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is playing. I think Sixers win, but if he's not, Celtics easily sweep. And an
Yeah.
LCL strain is not a. It's a pretty. It's a dude. It's a ligament strain. Okay, so you'll have a minor tear in your ligament, very minor tear which heals itself, but it's very painful.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think this does change the obviously changes the complexion of it. I think the Sixers, it's better for them psychologically to think they're the underdogs, right? I
Yep.
think with Embiid, there the burden of expectations with the Sixers have always been they've always underperformed in that sense,
Right.
right? And I think someone like James Harden, who has basically become an uncle now, okay,
Right.
I think he needs this extra motivation of not having Embiid. And I think he still has it in him, right? He's not that old and stuff that he can't, have these 1 or 2 games where he's going crazy. Uh, so yeah, I do think that even without Embiid, I think the Sixers can win at least a game, but then Embiid has to be back for this to be a series.
So let's see what happens. Very. If you ask me, it's very sad that we didn't get to see the series with both teams in full power. So,
Yeah, yeah.
well,
That is always the saddest, dude. Like all these talk of matchups and all goes out the window if you're not even there. That's one thing you sort of miss about the 80s and 90s, no? People the best players are always there. They found a way to play. Now it's all about load management, Yevo, alternate nights off. I'm like, ठीक है, modern game. I mean, but still, like
so let's move on to the next game, which is going to be tomorrow morning. Nuggets Suns.
this,
Whew,
bro. This. Oh,
dude. So
dude.
the first game of the Nuggets Suns, I literally feel Jokic didn't break a sweat.
Dude, see, you have been saying that throughout, and that's a scary part. Like even in the second round, they'll be like, "आराम से भाई मजे ले रहे हैं भाई आराम से." There wasn't even
They're
a moment
scoring.
of tension.
They're scoring effortlessly.
They're scoring effortlessly. They're scoring balanced.
Yeah.
Like who do you guard, man? Like it's like
And and
yeah.
the important part which many people tend to ignore is Suns had a pretty decent game shooting wise.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, Suns defense is the huge like not a question mark. It's like question mark with an exclamation. Like uh, I think Devin Booker should not even try to play offense. He should like this series. I don't. It doesn't matter if he averages 15 points a game. I do think it's going to be a Kevin Durant offensive series. I
Right.
think already the signs are showing. I think Booker should just focus on his defense, because Kevin Durant at best he's going to be a help defender who's going to double like late sort of contest on Jokic, right? That's basic. So Durant is going to keep oscillating, right, between mid range and back at the paint. So I think that, and Chris Paul is too old anyway to be really. He may just have those random strips in the post like he had, like पीछे से आएगा एक मतलब एक steal लेगा from Jokic. That's about it. I think Booker has to show the kind of defense he has honestly never shown. I think he has in the last when there is a NBA Finals. There were moments where he showed his defensive acumen. I think it comes down to Booker playing defense on Jamal Murray.
Now I have another specific matchup which I want to talk about. The first time the Nuggets and the Suns played each other, this was during the Suns' run to the finals. DeAndre Ayton managed to outplay Jokic in the sense that he slowed him down significantly. The point here is this: I don't think that happens again. There's absolutely no way. There's absolutely no way that Jokic is going to get outplayed by freaking DeAndre Ayton again. He dominated the boards, got away with so many offensive boards. He was chilling on the offense, other than grabbing left, right, and center boards. And I don't know. Of course, we're overreacting. I am overreacting. My only thing is this, boss.
No,
Till now,
overreacting.
I'm
Overreacting in what
overreacting
way?
in the
Huh.
sense what? Yeah. So
Huh.
coming to my next sentence. Till now, I have not seen the Nuggets get pushed in the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And based on what I saw, I don't see that change. Like they scored effortlessly, Gopal. I could not believe my eyes.
That's what I'm saying. It comes down to the Suns' defense. The Suns have to find a
And
way.
okay, so tell me, who do they have on defense to put on anyone?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying Devin Booker has to become a defender, an elite two-way player. Okay. Honestly, he
Because
has done it in like few minutes in the past. Okay, like in that the run to the
so
finals.
dude, so I don't know, man. Uh, anyway, I think Suns are taking this as a down year. So probably the next year is when they end up, stacking the squad with better defenders and
No, no,
win.
bhai. To think of Chris Paul. Why don't say it down here? Every year for Chris Paul is like
Down year.
extinction, man. You cannot make a 37-year-old guy wait until he turns 38. Okay, I think especially you can never say it's a building year with KD in your team. KD will go off somewhere else, bro. Whoever wins the title this time, he'll go join them. Sorry, that's too dark. But my point is, dude, shout out also to Aaron Gordon,
Gordon.
right?
Yeah.
I
Played
think
really well.
yeah, man, all their role players, I think, and they all have a chip on their shoulders. Like
Yeah.
Bruce Brown, right? He was
Yeah.
a guy who I think Nets traded away, which if I remember
Which was one of
correctly,
the dumbest things which they've ever
stupid
done.
man. Like he was like the one guy who was like your literally your motor for that
Yeah.
team,
Yeah.
right? So I think all these guys
And,
have a
and one
KCP, yeah,
one yeah, so I was gonna come to KCP. Dude, what an add-on he's been.
dude,
Oh my
amazing,
god.
amazing.
My god. He's gonna I don't know, like the series because they have KD, I think he'll push it to 6. But I think it's going Nuggets way, dude. Because they didn't break a sweat. And I don't know what the Suns could do to change that. How will they make like who do they have? See, they don't have the roster to make this a physical series. If it's gonna be a fast-paced offense, Nuggets will take it any day, in my opinion.
Suns don't have a bench also, dude. Like I mean,
Yeah, they do.
like the
So
moment
they
they no it's very interesting. Okay, Nikhil, like in all teams generally it's like defense leads to offense, right?
correct.
But for Suns it's the reverse.
Right.
Okay, if they are efficient on offense,
Yeah.
then they have time to come back and settle down and play a half court defense, right? So Suns is a very weird team where their offense dictates their defense,
Right.
uh, right? So I still think if if the Suns can find a way to get ahead early, then that's their best shot. I think there's no way if they drop by 10 points, I think it's very hard for them to catch up and then go ahead.
Right, right,
right? I
right.
think that
They
would be
come
crucial
in
on
with a big
how, yeah,
punch.
yeah, they have to come with that punch and then make it a different game where they can hope that, the pressure, because a lot of these guys, Aaron Gordon, and you don't expect Aaron Gordon to keep hitting those
No, so
shots.
I'll tell you this, right? In that scenario, I think finally Jokic will take it seriously. Because, bro, he's I have so
By
you've
the way,
seen.
by the way, even Jokic, let's talk about Jokic's defense. Bro,
Okay.
like, Aiton was supposed to slow down Jokic, but Jokic was making it hard for Aiton,
Yeah, yeah.
right? S-
Dude, Jokic is a great defender against bigs. He sucks against quick guards. And Suns only have Devin Booker. CP is now slowed down. He's at Jokic's pace.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And the other part is CP. So that is a huge, huge, huge flaw on the Suns side, which is team, they will just start going at CP all day long.
Hmm.
If they need a quick bucket. Dude, Jamal Murray, if he plays like this,
So this about that, okay? So there are a couple of things here. Dude, I can totally see why he gets hurt. Okay, because some of his moves, okay, like the sheer strain, because when Devin Booker does it, for example, it's still, I'm not a sports science,
so you're
whatever.
talking about CP3 or Jamal Murray?
I'm talking about Jamal Murray.
Okay.
I'm talking about the way he plays.
Okay.
I that is, there's always that concern of like the durability factor with him, right? You really feel for the guy. Like I think, and he's a guy you want to see in the. We talk about playoff guys, no, like Jimmy Butler. I think Jamal Murray is the guy who plays
Yep.
better in the playoffs.
Yep.
Okay, Donovan Mitchell, I don't really consider because there's an asterisk around Donovan Mitchell's numbers
Right.
in the playoffs, right? Like a lot of it comes in garbage time and all that, right? So, but this guy, if you saw, when he got those shots, it was like this game is over. That right, that is when he scored, right? So
Right.
these are statement buckets that he's getting. Okay, so but some of these moves, I do feel like, so that again, I don't want to wish this on anyone, but uh Suns, I mean, if Murray gets hurt or something like that's that's honestly Suns, then it obviously becomes Suns. By the way, are so bloody lucky, man. They just rode on the fact that Clippers were
Injured.
injured.
I swear
Okay,
to God.
they would not have made it to the second round.
100%. No ways. If Kawhi is playing, forget PG. Just Kawhi is playing, they win. They win it.
They were exposed, man. Like against a full strength team,
Yep.
they were exposed.
Let's see what happens. Oh, and one more important point here. This will probably be the first series where uh, Devin Booker and CP3 are going to get killed on defensive end. So what do I mean by that? Unlike the Clippers didn't have a strong jump shooting backcourt. So they had tough physical players who drive and get buckets close to the basket. But in this case, because of Jokic, Jamal Murray, Kentavious Caldwell Pope, all these guys are going to run around and tire out CP3 and Devin Booker. And the people underestimate the kind of dude you. This is why I have so much respect for the Kings, that Fox and Monk were able to run around with Klay Thompson and Steph Curry and still keep up that offensive pace. I don't think Booker and CP3 have it in them to defend Murray on the other end and at the same time. And the other part is, let's take Devin Booker. He will have a big game, of course, in the coming few games. But defending him is a bit easier when you consider the whole 48 minutes. So what do I mean by that? His game is hezzy pull up Jimbo, which is get into the mid range, take a pull up shot. That's it. But Jamal Murray and Kendavius Caldwell Pope, thanks to Jokic and the offensive system they have, they are gonna play like the Warriors. They're gonna run around like crazy, tire you out. And as the series goes on, it's going to get harder and harder. And you may score 40 on them. Booker may score 40, 45 on them. But on the other side, he's going to get 30, 35 as well.
Yeah, no, no. So, and the thing also is when Booker scores 40, it's not like he will get 10 assists, right? But a lot of these you saw, right? The passes that he made, right?
Yeah.
He's sort of balancing his game, right? He knows when to, facilitate, when to be
Right.
an aggressor, and it's
Right.
true for Jokic. Like that's the
Right.
beauty of it. Like they're all like it's so much in sync. Okay,
Right.
it is so beautiful to watch. But I do think, like I said, Devin Booker should just forget that he can score because KD will give you 40 if he has to. Like he's an autopilot anyway. I
Right.
think it'll come down to Devin Booker playing unbelievable defense. I think he has the ability, he has the definitely the athleticism to
Dude, I
make
will.
it tough
Yeah.
on Jamal Murray.
I'll tell you one thing. The way Jamal Murray is playing, he reminds me so much of Steph and Damian Lillard. Beautiful, beautiful game. If his shots are hitting, if he's gonna be this athletic, if he's fully recovered, he plays like them, Gopal. He doesn't. It's not dribble heavy. It's not heavy, mid-range shots.
This
No, it's all.
dude, this finish.
I swear.
Oh, this
Look
was
at this finish.
yeah. Dude, I got this crazy analogy. I may be going too far back. I apologize to Gen Z. There's a Portland Trailblazers had Brandon Roy. I don't know.
Yeah, he plays just like that.
Yeah,
Very
yeah, yeah. He's a very
smooth game.
Brandon Roy. Very Brandon
Such a
Roy.
soft, smooth game. Always in control. You can't rattle him. A very, very good penetration game. Has a complete offensive game, honestly. And his jumper, if it's going, it's over. Like he's a legit 42% scorer,
Yeah,
from three. So, and his jump shot is so smooth. Can you see it? Like
it's
perfect textbook jumper.
he's beautiful, bro. I think I love guys like this. I don't think he has any haters. Does he have any haters? Because
I
with
don't
see
think
with
so.
Booker, for example, I know you're a Booker hater,
I
right? But
hate Booker.
ha so yeah, so it's like how I am not a Clay fan. Okay,
Right.
okay, they never come up, but I'm not really a Clay, because I think Clay is, because he's so smart. He can
हाँ.
chill. He knows भाई स्टेप करी करेगा दौड़ेगा दौड़ेगा मेरा काम ठीक है मेरा मेरा काम है वो 3-4 थ्री पॉइंटर मारना जब टीम, and he does that, right? so
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so he is very smart in terms of playing off of Steph.
Right.
So yeah, man. But like I said, Nuggets are my team, bro, and I think this is proving even more that they're not just offense, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think they are.
The defense has been pretty decent, and that's all they need, honestly. At the pace which they score and the effortlessness which they score. So let's talk about Jokic. Now, as I was saying repeatedly, right? He was scoring. He didn't break a sweat, in my opinion, and this is why, right? You look at the actions he's doing. He is not. This is a style of play which I believe is sustainable. Number
Oh yeah,
one,
yeah, yeah.
and
He can do
number
this.
two,
Yeah.
the second part is I think his wrist is still affecting him. And why do I say this?
What happened to his wrist? क्या हुआ क्या?
He was hurt. I mean, preseason, during the season, it's been bothering him despite that he's had a crazy year. And I think his wrist is going to get warmed up and it's going to be back towards the end of the series because his efficiency numbers are not as it normally is. He's a 70% true shooting center. He's at 56% in the playoffs, which is rare because typically even he also elevates his game in the playoffs. So one of the reasons, of course, is his wrist. Now, why do I bring this up? That I don't think Bismack Biyombo or DeAndre Ayton, specifically DeAndre Ayton, has anything on Jokic this time. He's learned how to play physical. He has a great cast around him. DeAndre Ayton is going to get exposed royally.
Going to get क्या? मतलब
No, no,
already हो
dude,
रहा
the
है, already हो रहा है ना?
first time they matched up, DeAndre
हाँ.
Ayton actually played them
Yeah,
really
yeah.
well.
Correct, correct.
So,
Yeah, yeah. The first game does not seem to indicate at all that Aiton is even close to Jokic's level.
no, he's not. It's not about level. It's like, can he slow him down? And obviously, he won't be able to, is what I feel. And look at some of this defense. They were fronting Jokic. Post defense 101, guys. If you have a good post scorer, you don't front him. He will find a way to, get an overhead pass. And Jamal Murray
Or if
is
you're fronting him, you would got to front him with a more athletic guy. Like if say if KD was fronting him, then there's a chance, of course, that that pass
he may
is not
yeah
even possible.
right.
Yeah, but then yeah, he's scoring on all three levels, man. That's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
mm,
I don't know. They just have this. And what I love is, unlike the Lakers or the Warriors, even for a moment, you don't feel you're not getting consistent effort from the Nuggets. In this playoffs, every second they give you good effort. Even if their shots are not falling, you have full effort. They're very serious about this. I don't know. Maybe your pick of them winning it all may be right this
no,
year,
no. I
Gopal.
about that, right? So let's jump ahead. Okay,
Okay.
let's assume they're winning this series. All right.
Okay.
In which case, and let's assume Warriors are winning theirs.
Oh, that series gonna be lit.
Now think about that, dude. Draymond Green, okay, and Kevon Looney will find a way to neutralize Jokic. Okay, they are
No, 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 no. You have to understand the last year when Warriors won it all and they faced up Nuggets in the first round. The problem was this: Nuggets didn't have sufficient defense. Has always been a question, so forget about that. They didn't have sufficient offensive power. Despite that, Jokic averaged a 60% true shooting. Why am I bringing this up? This year, he has all the offensive power he needs. Even if, so here's the thing: the series is gonna go like the Warriors Kings, which is gonna be super close fought, 120 plus games, multiple games. It'll literally come down to the last three possessions who executes better. Literally, that's how that I see that series going.
What a
What do you think?
series, dude! I'm tripping on the thought of this series itself. Like, yeah, man. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, this is one of those series where literally you have the two best teams in the league. I'm not even saying in the West. I
Right,
think in the league who are going to play, and they're both at their peak of their powers,
right.
right? And I think also Nuggets, if you look at their trajectory, man, if you talk about organically, dude, they
Yeah,
have earned it, man. Like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
they have not skipped any steps.
yeah,
Mike Malone, I think 4 straight seasons in the playoffs, right?
yeah.
So I think uh, that would be the difference. Right? That would be the difference between, say, the Kings and the Nuggets,
Right.
right? With the Kings, it's still like, oh, we are here. We are just in a way we are happy to be here. We'll put on a show, but the Nuggets is like, we have been waiting for this. So that
Yeah.
hunger that the Nuggets will have,
You could see it clearly in the game yesterday.
yeah,
They're not. One important point I want to make note of. Everyone should pay attention to this fact that Jokic just played 33 minutes, and the Nuggets won comfortably. So when I say he
yeah.
was not breaking a sweat, literally he was not breaking a sweat. So why do I bring this number up? A lot of times, one of the biggest issues is Nuggets can't perform when Jokic is not on the floor.
They played better with him on the
Off the
bench,
floor.
bro. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
know. That was
Yeah.
crazy to watch.
But that was because Aaron Gordon hit some three threes or something, which was quite
Yeah,
unusual.
yeah, that's true. But you never know, man. They just like may have that confidence. Aaron Gordon is not a bad player. He's pretty decent, and you never know. Like he may be able to keep up this pace, and dude, this is the kind of impact you're talking about, where one player can make it so easy for the offense. He makes it so easy and smooth. The only way you beat the Nuggets is you have to beat up Jokic.
Yeah, that's
You
what that's what I'm saying. That's something Draymond Green can do and will do.
right, right,
Right?
right,
He will just get under Jokic's skin. By the way,
right.
Jokic also, he had, if you remember a few years ago, he was always in foul trouble.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's something he lost his weight, so that also helps.
yeah.
But I
So,
still think though, if you
yeah.
ask me, if I was the Suns,
Hmm?
Devin Booker just like follows Jamal Murray like a fucking shadow. Okay, when I swore, I thought I'd never do it, man. I joined you, but he that's what Booker needs to do,
Right,
and I think Aiton just plays stronger. Aiton was just soft, man. Like this is,
right.
and then KD helps. Right. I think the moment that happens, defensively, the Suns have done their job. And then
Right.
yeah, if Aaron Gordon and KCB keep hitting outside shots, and Bruce Brown, all these guys, they do what they do. That's okay. You live with that, right? And then Booker
Let's see.
makes that sacrifice. He sacrifices the offensive game. Uh,
I don't
Drops
think he
down
does
from
that.
40 to 20. He has to do it. If he wants to win, he has to do it. Otherwise, yeah, whatever. He can keep doing what he does, and then the series is over. I mean,
I doubt he does though, because I don't know. I just don't feel he's that type of player who will do whatever it takes to win it. I just feel that way. Uh,
but
I
you are
don't
a,
know.
you are a Booker troll.
I hate Booker. I don't know. I
He
just
has to
hate
do
him.
it. No, I'm saying he has to. If he doesn't do it, then yeah, then the
Dude,
series
the
is over.
reason I hate him, for the audience, I like, so that you just don't think he claims himself to be like a big Kobe fan and Kobe Mamba mentality and all, and I find that disrespectful, because say what you want about Kobe, he's a 15-time NBA All Defensive player. Okay,
Mm.
and you can't have 50% of the game of Kobe and then claim to be a Kobe fan. Like Kobe would have done that, Gopal. He would have freaking guarded Jokic. He doesn't care. He would have found a weakness, in Jokic's game. He's that kind of guy, and I hate this, this guy claiming to have the Mamba mentality or whatever it is.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
hate.
It comes down to Booker really playing defense. I think that. Let's see, man. Let's
Yeah.
see.
So we have a couple of comments.
Oh, we
So
do. Oh,
Akshay Arun says, "You guys are the goats."
dude, I really.
Thank you, Akshay.
Wow,
So
I was genuinely not expecting that.
yeah, and
I feel like it's sarcasm, bro. I don't
yeah,
know.
come on, let us know, man. And the second one is Dream Baller. Dream Baller says Warriors can dominate.
Oh,
Interesting.
who said
So
why? Yes, yes. Matlab, it's not like you and I thought Warriors can dominate. In fact,
no, you,
we were leaning the
yeah,
other way. We were leaning the other way.
he probably, I mean, he just meant, Warriors can easily dominate the Nuggets. Let's see. Let's hope that, we actually have a Warriors Nuggets series. And another reason why I want the Warriors Nuggets series so bad is this is the style of basketball I like. I hate
Oh, yeah,
deep
yeah, yeah. It's
isolation
fun
games.
to watch. It's just fun
It's
to
so
watch.
much fun. Dude, the Kings Warriors series in round one was epic, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Epic.
By the way, quick. I have a question. Kings
Sure.
का already holiday start हो गया. Some of them may be
Right.
going to Cancun or wherever they'll be going.
Right.
Right. So, do they need to make roster adjustments, or does Sabonis just needs to work on his jump shot? Like, how is this summer going to be for them? Do you trade away Herter because he's under contract till 2025 or 26, right? So my point is, what do you do if you're the Kings, or do you say we have seen enough, it's good enough what we have seen, let's just have faith in these guys because they're all young, right? All said and done. I
So
don't
this
think
is
it's an
what they
aging
need.
roster.
First thing which they got to do is they got to get rid of the ultimate choker of all time, the ultimate choker of all time, Harrison Barnes. Get that useless
Oh,
piece of
Harrison
shit
Barnes
out
needs
there.
to go. Yeah, I agree. Harrison Barnes needs to go.
Dude, he did this with the Warriors also. The 2016 championship for the Warriors is all theirs. If Harrison Barnes hits two of his
uh,
like 100 open threes, okay,
Harrison Barnes has to go.
like he's not a great presence. I just hate his game in the sense that
Yeah,
it's like he
he
has
was not the veteran presence he was supposed to be. Like his whole.
exactly and he dude, he has all the talent and the skill to play as well as Wiggins.
Exactly. I'm glad you said that. That's exactly the name I was thinking of. Yes, he should have played like Wiggins. Yeah, there's no excuse for him not to. Okay, I think we Nikhil is facing internet issues, but yeah, man, Harrison Barnes has to go. By the way, Harrison Barnes came to India. Nikhil, we lost you for a moment, by the way, for because of internet. But I was just telling people that Harrison Barnes, by the way, came to India a few years ago, and
Oh,
he and I exchanged messages. He was
oh.
asking me to share some picture of some video. I'm like, भाई नहीं है मेरे पास. किसी don't ask me. किसी और से पूछ ले भाई. मुझसे मेरे पास नहीं है. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Nikhil. Yes.
So Harrison Barnes, they gotta move him and they gotta find a better veteran presence.
Who? Let's suggest now. Like who's available?
So let's see.
It's a tough question, but कोई तो होगा यार ऐसा नहीं. Okay, they should not get Westbrook. That much we're sure.
No. I no Westbrook is not built for this system. Westbrook is perfectly placed on the Clippers, by the way. I'm not even joking.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, it's
Clippers
fun. It's
should
fun.
re-sign him at a good price. Bomber should pay him. He's the only star who showed up. He shouldn't fucking hesitate to pay Westbrook.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But let's see what are the kind of players they can go after. So it would be great. Okay, so one specific player I have in mind, like, this is gonna blow your mind.
Ah.
But I don't think the Celtics win it all, and Jalen Brown will be available.
Ooh,
So
ooh.
Jalen Brown is the player they need to desperately go after. Uh, if not, Jalen Brown, of course, is going to be harder. But they need, a Jalen Brown type tough
But
wing.
yeah, but Jalen Brown obviously they have to trade away a lot of pieces. It's not a like for like trade, no. Harrison
That's
Barnes.
okay. It'll be worth it. Even if they decide to move Keegan Murray in that trade, it'll be worth it. Because Jalen Brown brings that kind of dude. I honestly feel Jalen Brown is the best player on the Celtics. Although Jason Tatum's gets a lot of credit, I feel Jalen Brown is actually better.
Yeah, you give away Herter,
Yeah,
give away Keegan Murray, you give
yeah,
away Harrison Barnes,
yeah.
and then
Get
you probably
Jalen
give them also some cash, perhaps.
and some picks, and you try to get Jalen Brown. Do whatever it takes.
I
Then the
think
second
it's
thing is, I think
yeah.
the Bucks blow up their roster, and I think they should go after Drew Holiday, who can bring a lot of. Uh,
Bhai Drew, okay, he had a weak series, bro.
No, I think, dude. So Bucks are probably going to blow up their roster and rebuild around Giannis. I think that's going to happen. Chris Middleton also will be available, but I wouldn't go for Chris Middleton. I don't think he has the right kind of mindset which is needed by the Kings. So honestly, Kings need a Draymond type player, dude. They need a Draymond type player who is like a tough guy who will, you know.
So that's the issue, no? That's the because the moment you get Jalen Brown, then that whole dynamic starts. Whose team is it? Ye wo, all that bakchodi will
No, no, I
start.
think it's clearly in this case, if they get Jalen Brown. So, see, the problem in the Celtics is Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown play the same
Same
wing,
pull. Yeah, 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 yeah.
same position. In this case, I don't think that'll be a problem. I think it'll be a 1A, 1B of, Fox and Jalen Brown. If I was in the Kings, I was trying to make decisions for the Kings. I would go aggressively after Jalen Brown. He's going to make a huge impact. I think that's a player. Who else? I think Keegan Murray is a great, great player. He played very well. I'm really impressed by Keegan Murray.
Dude, he's
Of
so much in control, man. I
Yeah,
love
yeah, yeah.
like very like it's like the game slows down when he's there, and that's a rare quality.
Right.
Yeah,
And I'll tell you what Keegan Murray has to do, Gopal. He just has to build up
muscle.
muscle. He has to get stronger. He got pushed around in the series by freaking Steph.
Dude, Steph is what we keep hearing is that he's like sneaky strong.
Yeah, yeah. He has one of the highest deadlift weights in Warriors. I've seen a video about that. Like he
Hmm.
deadlifts 200, 300 kgs easily. So he's very strong. He built that strength after, his Warrior. The second thing which they need to do is they need to get a very good, another point guard, like a Malcolm Brogdon type player off the bench. So
Yeah, they don't have any point guard off the bench, right?
yeah, so they don't have they have Matthew Dellavedova, who obviously is not a great point guard.
So he
Dude,
to hasn't played only, right? Like even he's injured or something.
no, no, why would they
What?
play
What?
him, man? He would have got abused by Warriors. Come on. Like, dude, the only way you can match up with Warriors is pace.
Hey
That's
man,
it.
Deludo though, like his defense on Curry back in the day and the ice bath and stuff, just for throwback purposes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Keegan Murray, they gotta continue. They gotta get a point guard off the bench, and many people are like, "Oh, they should try to move Sabonis and all of that." Look, Sabonis has his flaws, okay, but the reason the Kings were so successful this year is largely because of Sabonis. His All NBA team and his All Star team is well deserved. It's just that you went up against a championship roster and you got beat down, and that's okay. You'll have to learn from it and get better. Uh,
But the flaws that we're talking about are in all caps. Okay, dude, how he got dude at one point he did not know how to box out Kevon Looney. He was like, "Bhai, मैं क्या करूँ?" Like you saw that is a turning point, right? In the game, we all talk about obviously Steph Curry 50 points, but Kevon Looney in that third quarter, if I'm not mistaken, for me that was that one possession where he got 3-4 offensive rebounds and Sabonis like, "मैं क्या करूँ, bhai?" So my point is, Sabonis needs to really. I think he was exposed, okay, in this series. He also young, so okay, whatever. But I think it's a great learning curve for him if he takes it that way. He needs to be able to drive in from his right. Like it's unbelievable, like how he kept on going to the left. It's like this now when you can eat like this, but then you prefer to go like this, right? That is what he was doing. They were overplaying on the left. He's still trying to go somehow, like from somewhere. It's like when you're stuck in Bangalore traffic, and then the traffic, the bike guys go on the on the pedestrian lane. Na? That level of stuff. So I still think Sabonis has a lot of work to do. Obviously, we should not trade him away, but I'm saying we as if like it's Mira team, but whatever.
right.
But yeah,
So another interesting player which they should look at the Kings is they Brook Lopez is also going to be off contract. He'll be available, and they should try to get him in.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So Bucks had great pieces, man. They just didn't have enough young players. I feel so. Brook Lopez will be a great add-on, in my opinion.
No,
So they
he'll be
have,
deadly, bro. He'll be insane.
dude. I hope Kings, don't screw. They always fuck up off seasons, always. I hope they don't fuck the off season up this time. So
Okay, this was an episode where we use the F word at least 7 times. So
so sorry about that, guys.
आ जाता है भाई दिल से मतलब when you feel strongly कि क्या करें अब.
But yeah, I think the new general manager of the Kings will make sure that it goes well, and I hope they do good in the off season. And I'm looking forward to see this team again, dude. This team has me excited as I was about the Warriors in 2014-15. Amazing, amazing team. Loved watching every game, every minute. Uh, Absolutely amazing. Just two specific glaring flaws, and Warriors are just know how to take advantage of flaws.
Yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately, that's the reality. So, guys, that was all. Thank you so much for joining us. I could see a lot of you had joined us, and I mean joined off. So next time onwards, make sure you see the whole show.
Yeah.
Upal, any parting words?
No, no, awesome, man. Look forward to exciting round two, man.
Yep.
Whew. Yes, see you again tomorrow.
Bye, guys. Take care.